Welcome to the Daily with Haley. Of course, I'm your host, Haley, and I look forward to you tuning in today to get your daily dose of encouragement. All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about the sparkle in the water. I know some of these titles you guys are probably like, how do you come up with this? But, I just say it as it is. So we're going to talk about the sparkle in the water today. So as I was on my prayer walking journey, which I've talked a little bit about before, but if you don't know what prayer walking is, basically it's walking with absolutely no music, your phone. I mean, you can walk with other people, but as long as they know what you're doing, you're going to be pretty much walking in silence. So, unless they want to prayer walk with you. It's fun to prayer walk with your friends because then after the walk, you can come together and talk about what God showed you. But it's basically, walking with no distractions beside the distractions of God talking to you and just letting him speak to you. And so I was walking downtown. So I live in downtown New Bern. It's on the waterfront. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little city in North Carolina. I was walking and I was really, that day I was feeling really overwhelmed. And I was just kind of feeling like, oh God, there's so much going on, and I just am oh my gosh. You know how you have those days, guys. You're just like, the only thing you can think of to say is, oh, that's the day I was having. And so I was walking, and all of a sudden I stopped when I turned the corner because I noticed how the sun was shining. When I went one way, the sun was not on the water, and when I walked the other way, the sun was on the water. And what I noticed was that when the sun was shining on the water just glistened. It was beautiful. The water was beautiful. And then you look on the other side and the water was just dull. It would just look like a body of water. And so I began to think all right, Lord, what are you trying to tell me here? What are you trying to show me? And so the biggest message that he told me from this was that, when the sun is shining on the water, right? It's blinding to the person looking at it. So, yeah, it's pretty because you can see it glisten and stuff, but when you think about it, when the sun's shining, you can't actually see the color of the water, right? And so I was like, okay, this is how God is in our life. When God is shining in us and through us, number one, the enemy can't see what he's doing. The enemy cannot see what's going on when God is radiating through us. And on the flip side of that, I was like, okay, this is so awesome because when we shine and let God shine through us, the whole world sees God through you and not the old you. And so that's just an awesome thing to think about. So when God is radiating through us, when we let God have control and let him radiate through us, the world can't see the old us, doesn't see who we were before Christ. And so let God radiate through you and let his light shine through you because guess what, guys? That's how the goodness of God spreads. People are going to look at you and say, oh yeah, there's something different about that person. And you know what's different is God's light through you. And I can be the first to tell you that I can tell when somebody is a Christian because of their personality. Not specifically their personality. Let me retract that. Not just by their personality, but you can tell. When there's other Christ-like brothers and sisters around you, you can tell. And I truly believe it's all because of the way God's light shines through us. And so I would encourage you today to let God shine through you. I know sometimes it can be a little scary, it can be a little intimidating, especially when you're around maybe not Christ-minded people. And I feel like, the enemy wants you to be fearful of shining your light for God. The enemy wants you to be afraid, especially because of everything that's going on in the world. It is a little scary to be different, but we have protection and we should have peace in knowing that, God's going to keep us safe. And so I would encourage you to let your light shine bright. Let it shine and watch the world just be a different place because of it. On the flip side, I want to talk about the literal part of what happens is when just because I was curious, I Googled, okay, what actually happens when the sun hits the water. So when the sun rays hit the water, or I should say hits right onto the water of the oceans and the seas, the water heats up. As it heats up, small particles of the water detach themselves from the ocean and fly into the air, which is evaporation. All right, well, guys, let me just tell you what God showed me through this. So I thought, how cool is that? That literally when God's light shines on us, literally small particles, well, in our case, small things detach themselves from us. So I want you to think about how awesome that is. So when God's light shines on us, like I said, you're past everything that you thought that, you did or said you weren't worthy of God. That's not true, because when God's light shines on you and through you, it literally detaches those things. He's literally taking those things out. He's evaporating those and is like, forget about all of that. I have made you shine with my light like you are a new creation. So my thought for you today is this. Allow God's light to shine through you and be proud of God's light through you. Stand firm in your light and don't be afraid of what others may say around you, because let's just be honest, when your light is shining, people look. So let it shine bright. Nothing bad can come out of it. Let your light shine and watch God work. And don't forget, you are so worthy of God's love in you. You are so worthy of everything God has in store for you. So let God shine in you and let Him take away all of the things that you thought that you were not worthy of. Guys, God loves you. I hope you have a great day, guys. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.